The market is crashing all over the place. Your favorite stocks like AMD, Palantir, SoFi, Nvidia, they are down bigly. But you know what you can do? You can start using these trading rules to know exactly where to get in and exactly where to get out. So today we're going to be playing my favorite game of the week, Big Money Bingo, and we're going to be watching this video called The 8 Trading Rules to Become Profitable in 2025. So let's watch this and learn together.
Not a sprint. Now, a lot of people that try to become successful, they try to rush the process or they cut corners. Now, in this video, I want to talk about things that you must do in order to become a successful and profitable trader. The first thing, which is the most important thing, is have a playbook.
There you go. Follow your plan. We might get a blackout today. You've got to have a plan to be successful in the market. It's not just going to happen on accident. You must come up with the plan. Now, I've talked about this before, right? If you're wanting to get into the market, you need to do a few things. First off, come up with a plan. I don't care what your plan is. I would suggest following trends. I would suggest using Outlier, but come up with whatever your plan is. Make sure it is quantifiable. Make sure it is math-based. Make sure it's rules-based and not gut feeling, not following random guy and internet-based, right? I've done both of those and I've lost so much money you couldn't believe it. After you've come up with the plan, backtest it. Backtesting means you're going to go through the data, you're going to go through all the charts, and you're going to say, okay, did this happen, or when this happened, this would have been the outcome. When that happened, this would have been the outcome. And then start refining that plan. Start refining the plan, coming up with the small items, refinements that are going to help you be more successful and work with your lifestyle. That's a big key here. After you've done that, then throw it in a Monte Carlo simulator. Monte Carlo simulator, you can Google it, you can use ChatGPT. And what you want to do is you want to come up with the worst case scenario showing to be wildly profitable. If your worst case scenario is wildly profitable, then you have a successful plan. And only then do you start putting real money into the market. That's where you need to start. You've got to create a plan. Make sure that plan will be wildly profitable. Then you can start trading with real money. But the problem with the plan is you still have to follow it. You still must follow the plan. You can't just hope and pray that it's going to work. You still have to execute it. That's the hard part.
A strategy, right? You need to have a well-defined system, well-defined edge in the market that allows you to make money. If you don't have this, it will make it very, very difficult for you to be profitable. So in order to develop a playbook, you must do the following things. Number one, you have to identify the market criteria where this playbook or strategy will work.
That's a great point, right? I talk about this all the time. You've probably heard about me saying it any video you've ever watched me in, talking about how the market, let me zoom over a little bit. The market is 40% of your move. 40% of the move is due just to the market. 30% of the move is due to the sector, and only the last 30% is due to the stock. And there are times where the market's not going to help you. There are times where the market will be working against you. There are times where the sector is working against you, right? You need all of this in confluence, big word of the day, in confluence to work for your stock. Now, can you find outlier stocks that just do their own thing? Yeah, but it's so much easier to get all three lined up together.
Number two, you need to have entry and exit rules for this strategy that tells you that based on these criteria, you can enter or exit. Now,
okay, we're going to have a blackout today. I feel that coming. I feel a blackout coming today.
once you have these rules early on,
hey, Bobby's back from vacation. Everybody say, hey, Bobby in the chat. Hey, Bobby in the chat. Hey, Bobby. Welcome back, Bobby. Glad you made it, my friend.
You have to understand that the rules will not really make sense. You don't have real backing for these rules. And in order to back these and make sense of them, you must backtest. You have
to. Look at that. Backtest your strategies. Is that on here somewhere? Let's see. Journaling. I'll give you journaling trades for backtesting, because there's no possible way that you can create a well-defined plan and make sure that it works and throw it into a Monte Carlo simulator unless you're journaling your trades. I mean, we are going to get a blackout today. I feel it.
You have to backtest the strategy. You have to backtest the rules. You have to refine that system. Once you backtest and you refine that system, jump in.
This is funny. He's saying like almost the exact same words as I'm saying.
Into trading with small size. I know everyone wants to make a lot of money when it.
And that is such a great point too. I didn't mention it earlier, but when you do start trading with a plan, right? You've come up with your plan, you figured out exactly what you're going to do. You've proven that the plan is going to work. Start with one share. One share. In fact, I would say set your threshold for $50 a share and say, I will trade anything, or not anything, but anything that fits in my plan, I will trade if it is at the maximum price of $50 a share. Then you can actually like put on more than a few, right? Let's say you've got a couple $1,000s in your account and you trade a few big names. Like what's some expensive names? Like Amazon's $214. Meta is $750. Microsoft is $500. Palantir is $150, right? Tesla's $300. Go for the smaller names and start trading with one share. Listen, going from paper trading, backtesting to just trading with one share, you laser focus in on that one share. Tell me in the chat, put the word laser, like sharks with laser beams attached to their heads. If going from paper trading / backtesting to real money laser focused you in, because for sure it sure did for me. I don't know. I think you spell laser with a Z. I don't care if you spell it with a Z or an S. You can put laser or laser. Either way is good for me. But it is so true. Once you have that risk in the market, laser sharks, right? Freaking sharks with laser beams attached to their heads. Yes, exactly. Totally different mindset when that happens. And because of that, you're going to pay way more attention. And when you pay more attention, you're going to actually refine your plan significantly more.
It comes to trading, but trust me, guys, start off with the strategy, 1 or 2 strategies, not a lot. Build that strategy, build that playbook with criteria, backtest it. Once you backtest it, go with the real account with very minimal size so you can build confidence, build experience in the markets, and just see what you need to tweak in that playbook or strategy to actually allow it to get better. And with that strategy or playbook, you have to make sure you stay consistent with it, right? So a lot of traders.
Yeah, we are definitely getting a blackout. Definitely getting a blackout here. Consistency and discipline. So let's pull up a slide over here. This is going to be such a great video. I'm excited about it. This slide is where is it at? Hold tight. Where's my Richard Dennis slide? So Richard Dennis is the person who came up with the idea of turtle traders. Now, turtle traders, basically, he said, I can teach people to trade. Here it is. I can teach people to trade just like they grow turtles in Japan. But he said the key thing here is I say you could publish rules in a newspaper and nobody would follow them. Exactly like we talk about, exactly like we show every single day how to trade. The key is consistency and discipline. It really is, because I see the YouTube comments, I get the feedback from people, and all they want to know is what stock should I buy today, right? They don't care how big, they don't care where to get in, they don't care where to get out. The only thing they want to do is go in the casino, pull the slot machine, and get more monies out, right? It's not that game. If that is what you're trying to do, you're learning how not to trade. Exactly, Chris from Wisconsin. You're learning how not to trade. But thanks to the magic of the internet and the fact that I love this game, I'm going to teach you everything you could ever want to know. The problem is you need to have the consistency and discipline to follow it, okay? You can do whatever you want to do in the market, but it doesn't mean you should.
I see they develop a strategy, but they change it every day. They don't have clear criteria. They don't have clear use cases for that strategy that makes sense. They're adjusting every day depending on how they feel or what they feel, right? And that's not what you want to do. You want to have a clear-cut system that is well tested, that is defined, and then use it. The next thing is journaling. Now, I know a lot of
Okay, we got journaling earlier. Since I already wrote it, I'm gonna give you a different one. I'll give you trade what you see. I'll give you trade what we see. There we go.
people hate the concept of journaling when it comes to trading, but I promise you that journaling and tracking your data is one of the most crucial aspects of becoming a profitable trader.
It really is. It absolutely is. And you can do it on a piece of paper. You can do it in a spreadsheet. You can do it a fancy tool. Looks like he's got a fancy tool that he's promoting here. Doesn't matter what you do, but keeping track of those trades will help you tremendously. The biggest reason that it'll help you is it'll show you where you're going right and show you where you're going wrong. And that's what you want to do. You want to have a list of trades that are winners, a list of trades that are losers, and you want to say, okay, of these lists of trades that are winners, what are the similar characteristics of these guys? Of the list of trades that are losers, what are the similar characteristics of these guys? Now, what characteristics are compatible for both, where, you know what, doesn't really make a difference? And then what characteristics are exclusive? Like, hey, you know what? The only thing the only time when my winners are winning is when this thing is happening. And the only time that my losers are losing is when this thing is happening. And then you can figure out what is working for you, what's not working for you. And you're not going to do that unless you A, trade with real money so you focus, and B, turn in your trade so you can keep track of what's working and what's not. Man, this is good. This is a great video.
You have to have your stats. You have to know what strategies are performing well. What days do you perform well? What size do you perform well under? What time periods do you perform well or bad under? You have to understand what is causing you to go on losing streaks. How do you respond on losing streaks? How do you respond on winning streaks? Without that data, you can't really fully maximize your trading capacity, right? So for me, it starts off with having a proper detailed pre-market game plan. It starts off with me recapping every single trade that I've taken, what I did well, what I did wrong. Maybe I
And journaling is not just about writing it down. It's about reviewing it, right? We just went through a really big mid-year review. We found some areas that we can improve upon, right? I'm still up 20 something percent on the year, but I want to be up 200% or something on the year, right? I was up 60% at one point. Now I'm in a drawdown. Does that mean I've done anything wrong? No, because I perfectly executed my plan. Now we can go back and say, okay, since we perfectly executed the plan, are there any tweaks to the plan that we could come up with? And in fact, there were. So now we're implementing, we're testing, we're back testing those, we're proving that the tweaks to the plan are in fact going to result in higher profitability. If not, you don't have to do it, right? And there's going to be plenty of times where you do your reviews and you're like, well, I couldn't have found anything that made a difference. And that is perfectly acceptable. But you're not going to know unless you actually review that. And I say do it at least, in my opinion, the time to do it is right now. Now, what do I mean by right now? Let me show you what I mean. So the reason that we got out of the market was because market breadth had contracted bigly, strongly, fastly. And then today, as of right now, today, we just got sell signals on the SPY. So there's no way in God's green earth I'd be putting any money at risk in the market. But there are times like this, right, where it's time to get aggressive. Then there are times where it's time to step out of the market. Times to get aggressive, time to step out of the market. Time to get aggressive, time to step out of the market. Now, at the time I'm recording this is one of those times to step out of the market. Only 23% of the 2,600 stocks we cover have a buy signal, meaning over 75% have sell signals. Look at how fast we've lost the downtrends and how fast we're gaining downtrends, right? The market is telling you now is not the time to be in. So what do you do in the meantime? Number one, you follow my advice here, which is sit in cash and don't F up. Right? I can't tell you how much better off you will be if you will stop trying to force trades and just sit in cash and don't F up. And then secondly, when you're out of the market, review your trades, right? Review your last cycle, right? If this is a cycle where it's time to get in and time to get out, take the time to review what happened in the last cycle, or maybe the last two, maybe the last three, and say, okay, what can I learn? What can I change? What can I improve upon? If there is anything to improve upon, learn, or change, right? And also be sure you put hashtag outlier in the chat if you haven't already, if you want to win big money bingo. But I mean, if you hate money, definitely don't type hashtag outlier in the chat. Let's get back to this.
Sold too early. Why did I sell too early? What did I see? What did I miss? How can I improve? And guys, keep in mind, trading is a game that we are constantly looking to improve day over day, year over year. Even me, I've been trading for 10 years. I'm still tracking my data. I'm still journaling, and I'm still looking to get better because there's never a moment in trading where you get to a point where you're like, okay, I made it. I still haven't gotten to that point where I feel like I've made it. And that's something you have to keep on your mind, right? That trading is something where you have to keep going. There's never that point where you get at the top of the mountain or top of the hill. You have to keep refining the system, keep updating, keep improving. And the moment you stop, the losses will catch up to you. Now, if you want to start journaling, I have a link down below for TradeZella. Check it out, get started. If not, just start journaling any possible way you can and take it from there.
I agree. You don't have to have TradeZilla, like I say, just some way, shape, or form. Keep track of your entries, keep track of your exits. The more data that you can put, man, my spreadsheet that I use probably has 25 different columns that I'm keeping data of because I want to know, what am I seeing on that day? Is this beneficial to me? Is it not? And you know what? A lot of stuff doesn't matter, but maybe one day it will. And because I'm keeping track of that, I will have that data when I want to look at it.
The next one is stop focusing on your P&L as an indication for success or not in the markets.
I like that. In fact, one of the things I like to tell people is turn off your P&L, right? If you have a profitable plan, if you have an edge, then seeing how you're up enough to buy a new house, or you're down enough that you know, you are losing sleep at night. Maybe you're down 5 figures for the day, or you're up 6 figures the next, right? That kind of stuff is mentally draining. If you can just turn off your P&L and focus on the entries and exits, that's what really matters. Now, I'll give you a comparison, right? Let's say that you want to lose 100 pounds, right? Let's say that, for example, no, let's do 60. I've lost 60 pounds. Let's say that you want to lose 60 pounds. Do you focus in on the day-to-day like movements of the scale, right? Oh man, I'm up 4 grams today. Oh man, I just used the restroom and now I'm down a lot of grams. Or do you focus in on, okay, I know I need to eat correctly because that's going to result in the outcome of having less weight. I know I need to exercise because that's going to result in the outcome of having less weight, right? You're focusing in on the inputs, what you can control. You're not focusing on the outputs that are a result of the inputs that you can control, right? I think Arnold Schwarzenegger even said something like, if you want to get big, the push-ups don't happen by themselves. Something to that effect, right? It really is focusing in on those inputs, which you know will result in the outputs that you want to see. All right. That's what you want to see. So turn off your P&L, stop focusing on that, and focus in on the inputs. The inputs being, in this case, your entries and your exits. What can you improve upon? And both directions. What can you improve upon on the entry and exit?
I see a lot of beginner traders or traders at all. They'll say, well, this month I didn't make a lot of money, so I traded bad. I had a red month or a flat month, so I'm a terrible trader. And I tell traders,
hang on, hold tight real quick, right quick. I'm going to pull up, hopefully this works, the 2024 results. Sometimes Google Sheets gets a little wonky. So I want to show you, yes, perfect. Okay. Sit in cash and not F up is real. Last year, 2024, in 49 trades, I made 91%. 91%. I had one losing month in November. Okay. This could be your portfolio. 91% returns in 49 trades. And a lot of the time, I didn't do a damn thing. Most of the time, I didn't do anything at all. In fact, Minervini, he talks about how when he won the U.S. Investing Championship in 1997, 50% of the year he was in cash, right? There are times where you're going to have a losing month. There are plenty of times where you're going to have a flat month. And then there are times like this where you stair step up. This is normal. This is normal, okay? Well, actually, I shouldn't say this is normal. This is abnormal. What's normal is people like blowing up their account. You don't want to be that kind of person. You don't want to be that kind of trader. If you want to be a successful trader, this is what you have to do. Know when to be aggressive and know when to sit on the sidelines. Yeah, I shouldn't say this is normal. This is super abnormal.
Is that don't take your P&L as a measure of your success in the markets, especially when you start out. And the reason for that is you're not going to find consistency in the markets for some time. And that's a given. It's going to take you time, right?
In fact, even though we give you everything at OVTLYR, even though I've given everything you possibly could have out here on the internet, absolutely 100% for free, there's still going to be people who struggle. And I understand, right? Here's the rule of thumb. In year one, if you can break even in year one, you have beaten out 90% of traders. Now, let me show you what I mean. The stat for the industry is 90% of people lose 90% of their accounts in the first 90 days of trading. If you break even your first year, you are better than 90% of traders. If you break even your first year, you are in the top echelon, top 10% of traders. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Year two, if you can follow that up and break even again in year two, you're doing something right. In year three, if you can post any sort of profit, you are in the top 3% of traders. In year three, right? Year four, year five, that's when you can start catching your stride and start making big money. But it doesn't happen overnight. No surgeon walks into the surgery theater and starts working on a brain 3 months after he started trading, 3 months after he started medical school. Why do you think that the hardest game in the world can be learned in just a couple YouTube videos and walk in and expect to be taking over, buying every company in the S&P 500 outright and owning all of them as if you're Warren Buffett by the end of the month. Just stop. Just stop. Focus on a plan, focus on execution. Then maybe you will be successful. You also need to put #OVTLYR in the chat if you want to be successful. Just putting that out there.
Because you're not going to find consistency, that consistency will not represent in the dollar value of results. Like you won't have a 10K month, a 12K month, a 15K month, and so on, right? But what you
Bro. I remember the first time I had I don't talk numbers a lot, but I remember the first time I had a $10,000 day. And of course I showed my wife. I was like, look at this. And she's like, whoa, that's what we're talking about. She's not one to get excited about dollars, right? But there is something, of course, you can completely change your entire life through this game, right? So yeah, like I say, I don't like to talk about numbers, but I've been there. I understand what that looks like, that success looks like, and you can get there, but you can't do it overnight.
can do is you can start measuring other aspects of your trading that you're allowed to say, well, I am improving. Well, I am improving in backtesting. I am able to find a strategy that has a 40% win ratio. Well, now I've improved it to a 50% win ratio. I have gotten my win to loss ratio from a 2 to a 2.5. I have gotten better at cutting my losses. I have gotten better at allowing certain trades to run. I have gotten better at defining pre-market movements.
Wait. Back to bingo. He said let his winners run. Where's it at? Is that on here? Let winners run. Yes. Let winners run. Very cool.
Or the game.
How's it not D5 or O5? Did he say mindset? Steve Mucha says 01. High probability setups. Senior Wahoo says 03. Cut losses. Did he say cut losses? Okay. I'll give you cut losses.
Plans that I had, they are working a lot better. If you start shifting your focus onto things that you can measure and that aren't P&L based, you will feel a lot more comfortable. You will feel more confident, and then you just won't get discouraged, right? Because imagine you're trading for 6 months, you're not profitable. Like, oh, well, it's not working out, let me quit. But imagine
which is exactly what, dude, that's so what happens to people, right? First, they blow up their account in 90 days. And then they're like, that's cool. I'll refund my account and try it again. Right. And then 6 months later, they still haven't bought their second Lambo. And they're like, oh, social media lied to me. Frick yeah, social media lied to you. That's not how the game is played. But if you want to be successful at this game, or let's list some games, right? Madden, right? NBA Live. I love Assassin's Creed. I'm deep diving in Assassin's Creed 2 once again. In fact, funny story. I pulled up my Assassin's Creed and I was playing out this weekend. And the last time I played Assassin's Creed 2 was in 2012 when my son was 4 months old. And I was like, oh man, so much of life has happened since the last time I played this game, right? But of course, I sucked ass once I got in the game. I had to relearn the whole thing over again, okay? Right? As a game, you get to learn the rules. Now, the problem here is that people don't think they need the rules. They can do whatever the hell they want to, and they're going to be successful, right? This YouTuber that I followed told me to buy the dip. And now it's taken me 8 months, and I still haven't broke even on that dip. Buying the dip doesn't work, right? You want to buy high and sell higher.
You trade for 6 months, and you're like, well, this is the progress I've made in 6 months. These are the areas I've improved in. That allows you to keep going, and it allows you to keep being focused on the process, keeps focused on the systems, and
focus on process, focus on systems. Hold on. Start for confirmation, strong breakout, don't predict, wait in cash, reduce risk. I will give you don't predict. There you go. We got one bingo of the day so far. I will give you don't predict. We got one bingo so far. Let's see how many we can get through.
It allows you to focus on just getting better. And if you do that, within some time, the money will automatically show up. My favorite one, risk. Keep your risk consistent.
Oh, shit. We're going to be paying a lot of gift cards today. I can feel that coming. Reduce your risk. Always look to reduce your risk. Anytime you're in the market, your money is at risk. There is never a time where you put money into the market where you can just take a back seat, let Jesus take the wheel, right? Don't do that. Don't put on autopilot and jump in the back seat, right? If your money is in the market, it is at risk at all times, 100% of the time. All stocks are bad, but every once in a while they act right. Your job is to not buy the stocks that are acting wrong and buy the stocks that are acting right. Okay. And then when you are in those stocks, you reduce risk every single day. How do you reduce risk? Number one, you're moving up your stop. Every day you can move up your stop, you move up your stop. Number two, roll those options, right? You can't do this with stock. But if you roll the options, you can take partial profits, you can keep the trade alive, and you can reduce risk in that trade. It is so sick, right? Always be finding ways to reduce risk in the market because all stocks are bad. All stocks are bad.
Risk is the most important part of trading, guys. It's something that we have to keep in mind. If we want to become profitable and successful traders, we have to control one of the things that we have control over, and that is risk. How much risk do we put on each trade? How do we stay consistent with risk, especially starting out, right? Because starting out, our main goal is to stay alive as long as we possibly can, right?
Oh, yes. That is so true. That's what I'm telling you about earlier, right? Just starting out, if you can stay profitable just at break even, that's all you're looking for. As you learn the rules of the game, right? It's like if you're playing Mario, right? And you're jumping over the stupid little mushrooms, and then you got the turtle things jumping at you, right? Your goal is to just stay alive. Everything in the world is coming at you in Mario. Everything in the world is coming at you in Assassin's Creed. Everything in the world is coming at you when you trade stocks. Your job is to just stay alive. And if you can't play that game, you shouldn't be playing it at all.
We want to be able to put on as many trades as we can without having massive drawdowns or massive blowups in our account.
I disagree on this point. You don't want to put on as many trades as you can. In fact, you want to sit in cash and not F up as much as you can. And only when something fits for your plan, trade it. This is a disagreement that I have with him, and nothing personal, but like I will sit in cash for months and months and months, waiting for the opportunity to pounce. Then I will get in, and I will get full port in if I need to. But in the meantime, you don't want to be taking excess trades. So I will disagree on that point.
So in order to do that, we keep our risk consistent, we keep it minimal, and we keep it going for a really long period of time until we allow ourselves to build confidence. So I have a video I'm going to post up here. It's a whole risk video of R multiple, how to position size. I highly recommend check it out and just focus on the risk component of trading. The next thing to do is have a pre-market game plan before you take on any session. You need to have a routine. You need to have a system before every session. So every time before I take any trades or
It's actually a great point, right? That's one of the reasons why I really like going through my PowerPoint, right? Is I don't have to wonder, oh, wait a minute, should I do this or should I do that? Because if I go through the plan, then I know exactly what I need to do for entries, for exits. We're telling you all about what OVTLYR is and how much it costs and things like that, right? Having the plan allows me to not stress, not worry, not think, not guess. So I agree with that.
start my trading day or session, whatever the case may be, I am looking at a game plan. I am building a game plan based on my hypothesis, based on what I believe are the possibilities that are happening in the market. I'm aware of all of the economic events that are happening. I'm aware of all of my key levels in the market. I'm aware of yesterday's movements, upcoming events, and so on that may possibly move the market. And then I also allow myself to get in the right state of mind. So I have to do this 20 to 30 minutes before the market opens or I start.
I think that's actually great advice, right? Put yourself in the mindset of a profitable trader. I'll give you mindset. Put yourself in the mindset of a profitable trader. Now, it's not that you need to meditate, which I meditate every day. I think it's great for you. It helps clear your mind. But you don't have to sit there and like put on special music. You don't have to like do your whole thing, right? It's just preparing for execution, right? I'm sure a doctor, before he performs brain surgery, understands what he needs to do. So when he walks in, he cuts here, he slices there, he removes that thing, he stitches it back up, and he's out. As minimal time as possible in the surgery theater, the same in your trading, as minimal time as possible to achieve your game plan in the market. There you go.
start my session. So once again, so I can get in the right state of mind, I have an idea of what I'm doing. What you should not be doing is you should not wake up. First thing you do, open your laptop and put on a trade.
Oh my gosh. I've told you this story before, but I was on a business trip and I remember getting in the back of an Uber, grabbing my iPad. It's not in here. I was going to use the prop. Getting my iPad and just clicking all these different stocks, selling calls, selling puts with absolutely no game plan whatsoever. Zero game plan. Just because I had money in my account. Just because it wasn't actively in a trade already. I was like, let's put these trades on. Horrible way to trade. That's what a lot of people do, right? They see people on YouTube like myself and they're like, oh my God, that guy's so cool, right? I need to go buy the stocks he has now. My plan is vastly different than yours, unless you follow my plan. You don't have to. By all means, you don't have to. In fact, I would encourage you not to follow my plan. You do you. But without having a plan and just saying, oh, today's the day I'm going to buy something, you could put yourself in such a problem.
That's not the way to go, guys. You want to make sure you have a well-defined plan. You want to make sure you're in the right state of mind and you are active to be able to put on trades and be able to think properly. And you should make a rule. And I've had this rule for a really long time where if I'm not in front of my computer 30 minutes before with the following items, I'm not allowed to trade for the day. And because we have no boss as traders, which sounds cool, it also has a flip side because there's
big time. In fact, let's pull out this book. I'm really glad you mentioned that. I was going to pull out this book at some point. Trading in the Zone. This is in my top 5 favorite trading books. And specifically in Trading in the Zone, he talks about how you don't have a boss in the market, right? It's not like you go into the office every day and your boss, maybe his name is Mark. Mark sits over your shoulder. Mark's like, hey, buy this stock at this price no matter what, right? I'm sure there are some people who do that. They work in prop firms, etc. But for 99.99999% of people, that doesn't exist. Meaning you can do whatever you want to do in the market. In fact, what he says in here is you have unlimited opportunities in the market every single day to do anything you want. And because of those unlimited opportunities is where most people F up, right? Most people F up their account because they have the freedom to do anything that they want. The hard part is pulling back on that freedom, sitting in cash so you don't F up, and then working a plan and only working when that plan sets up.
There's no one to hold us accountable and no one to tell us, hey, you can't trade this day, or hey, this is wrong. We just kind of, go on tilt and go crazy in terms of just putting on trades that don't make sense. And if I have 2 losing trades, I'm not allowed to increase my size. If I have 3 losing trades, I have to take a step back. When you set these rules and you follow them, you now allow yourself to be aware of what is happening in your trading. You don't allow yourself to go on massive drawdowns or, go in massive tilts where you allow yourself to blow your account. So set these rules. And the first rule it should start from, in my opinion, is your pre-market game plan. So this is my favorite one. Stop paying attention.
Bro, I love this. I don't know where he's going with this, but this is so, man, that's such a thing, right? And not only are there, social media traders like myself who actually do trade and actually show live what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, where I got in and where I got out. But then there's plenty of social media people who claim that they do all this trading, who claim to do this and that, and really are just scam artists, right? You've got to figure out what your own plan is and just follow that.
Attention to everyone else on social media, especially the traders. Stop it. It is destroying you. It is very easy to go on YouTube, go on TikTok, go on Instagram, and look at other traders posting these crazy gains and say, well, how do I get there? I need to get there. I need to do this. I need to increase my size. And what that does is it just puts you in a state of mind where you start taking very stupid trades. Ignore all the outside noise, right? Just
I agree with this completely.
Stop paying attention to all the social media nonsense with traders and so on. And if you need to get off. Because when you start paying attention to multiple people on social media, you start looking at different strategies, different ways to trade. You're like, well, you know what? This guy did this, so I'm going to copy them. Well, today, this guy did this, so I'm going to copy them. So it doesn't allow you to build your own path. And it also builds like this FOMO within yourself of seeing other people make X amount of money or X amount of success. And it forces your hand to take bad trades. And also stop paying attention to so many different mentors that have different trading styles. Find 1 or 2 trading styles that make sense, that,
I think that's actually great because I've tried day trading, I've tried longer term investing, and I've had all kinds of mentors who do all kinds of different things, right? Whenever you're coming into the market, you can do whatever you want, but you need to find what works for your lifestyle. Like I've tried day trading futures and I cannot do it. I don't remember if I was up money or down money, but I remember that I was down in my lifespan by trying to trade futures. Like the leverage was so high, the moves were so fast. I didn't want to be stuck in front of a screen all day to find the 1 3-minute candle that happened to work. Right. That was just not me. So finding outlier, right, working with outlier, coming up with different plans that fit my lifestyle made a huge difference in my life. And so to this point here, right, if you want to be a day trader, start learning from mentors who are day traders. If you want to be a swing trader, start learning from people who are swing traders. If you want to be an options trader, start learning from people who's an options trader, right? But don't try and do everything all at once. You really have to specialize. Like the brain surgeon doesn't do colonoscopies, right? The brain surgeon doesn't do podiatry, right? The brain surgeon has a specialty and he focuses in and he is an excellent, perfect expert on that specialty and he will not deviate. You need to find what your specialty is as well. I agree with this completely.
You like
Steven says he found a mentor. He's a random guy on the internet. What you mean? This random guy on the internet who has this zoomed in way too far, and for effect, it did not work like it wanted it to. And this my random name on the internet is Christopher Yule. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards. They were the best traders of all time, probably still are. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and this is where outliers like us save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And we still haven't got 2 bingos yet. But if you haven't put in hashtag outlier in the chat, you aren't going to win big money bingo. So put hashtag outlier in the chat.
the way you like to trade and stick to consuming content around that. If you consume content around everything, you want to allow yourself to become super great at one way of trading, one style of trading, and so on. And I'll tell you guys, 99% of things that you see on social media, that you see on YouTube, especially in the trading space, is nonsense. It's not real. It's just
yes, very much so. And in fact, I occasionally talk about our cars. I occasionally talk about my house. I occasionally talk about this thing or that thing, right? But I'm not out here flexing. And I don't think most traders, I don't think most wealthy people are out there flexing either, right? How many Gucci belts does Mark Zuckerberg have, right? I don't know. I don't think probably all that many, right? There's a few nice things that I have here and there, but at the end of the day, anything that in fact, I thought about this the other day, anything that I take out of my trading account and put into something else is money that I can't use to grow my account, right? I'm going to give an example that hurts a little bit too close to the vest. Imagine that you wanted to buy a fancy watch. And imagine, let's just round up the cost of the watch, that it happens to be around $20,000, which is a hell of a lot of money for a tiny clock that you wear on your wrist. Now imagine that you, in fact, let's not imagine, let's do the math, right? Let's say that you made 91% a year. Let's say you made 91% a year every year. So that 20,000 times 1.91 would turn into 38,000 after 1 year. And after 2 years, and after 3 years, after 4 years, and after 5 years, then after 6 years, you look down at your watch and you're like, that's $1 million in my account that I would have had, but now I have a tiny clock on my wrist. Yep. Chris has thought about that a lot lately. Just putting that out there.
It's not real. People are feeding you bad ways of trading and feeding you complete utter BS. And it's very easy for that to create this illusion of I should be doing this or I should be able to be profitable in 2 months or 3 months. It's not the case. Stay in your lane, give yourself time, increase your time horizon, and just allow your journey to be your journey. Own it. And just be patient with it. And I promise, if you don't cut corners, if you don't go all over the place, and you stick to the game plan, you stick to improving, you don't look.
Does he say anything over here? By the dip, strong breath, stick to me, break out market cycle, wait in cash. I'll give you wait in cash. I'll give you wait in cash.
around, I'm just trying to make money. You will eventually get to a point of being profitable and you will get to a point of being successful in this field. The last one is getting out of fantasy land. It's very easy for us as traders to go into fantasy land and think, if I was to buy here and I was to sell there, I would make so much money. And I would love to say that's true, but it is far from the truth, guys. The truth is trading is very hard. And I've said this countless times, right? Trading is very difficult. There's very few people that will make it in the game of trading. Now, from a competitive point, I want trading to be competitive. I want it to be difficult. I enjoy that it's difficult. What I'm saying is the more difficult it is, the better the reward. So if you are in your trading journey, realize that it is going to be difficult. Be mentally prepared. Know that, hey, this is going to be difficult. Very few people are going to make it. These are the things that I must do and I must stick to. And I have to be able to not only conquer the markets, I have to be able to conquer myself. And I know you guys have heard psychology. It's a very big part of trading, 110%. And you need to understand that in order to be successful, there is a component where you have to conquer yourself, but you also have to have a strategy. You can't, they both work hand in hand. Conquer yourself, make sure you have a good defined strategy, put those two things together with the element of protecting your downside, which is risk. Do it for months and months and months and months consistently, day in and out. And once again, when you look behind you, you'll see how far you've come and you'll see how your P&L starts reflecting that.
Dude, this was a great video. This was a great video. I'm so disappointed that we didn't get more than one bingo. Man, if only that he happened to talk about the market cycle. Oh, wait, did I say market cycle? Oh, there's a second bingo. Oh, man. If only he talked about how you need to follow the trend, right? If only he talked about how it's so incredibly important to follow the trend of the market. Man, if he just talked about that, that would have made this bingo so much easier. But I remember a random guy on the internet talking about how important breadth was and still is for every single stock that you trade. Holy crap, we got 3 bingos. What? Oh my gosh, we got a diagonal right there and we got 2 sideways ones. What? If you haven't put hashtag outlier in the chat, what are you doing? You must hate money. Literally less than half of you have put in hashtag outlier in the chat. And you must hate money, because I'm about to give away 3 $10 Amazon gift cards just for fun, just for playing big money bingo. Let's go. Let's do this thing, right? Are you moving the goalpost? Yes, I am. And it's my show and it's Mahesh's money, so it's all good. Actually, Lucy, wake up. Lucy's been down here in my lap the whole time. She's like, oh, leave me alone. Lucy, you're going to draw winners here, okay? Who's the first winner today, Lucy? Who's going to click the button? I'm actually going to click the button. All right, Lucy, ready? 3, 2, 1, click. All right, Lucy. Who's going to be the first winner of the day? Who's going to be the first winner of the day for Big Money Bingo? Corey! Congratulations, Corey. Corey, dude, I got to tell you, Corey is like an MVP for every live stream. He comes in, drops all kinds of helpful, useful information, great comments that he leaves on the videos all the time. This is well-deserved, Corey. So I'm going to email this to April so she doesn't forget. To April and support. All right. Bingo winners. All right. Corey is our first winner of the day. And a seriously big congratulations to you, Corey. Lucy is like, leave me the F alone. I'm going back to sleep. So we're going to hit the next one here. Dude, you are a rock star, Corey. All right. Who's the second winner of the day? Second winner of Big Money Bingo is Don. Don, outstanding work, dude. I remember saying hi to you this morning. So Don, congratulations to you. And one more winner of the day. One more winner for the day is going to be our last big winner of the day. Who's that going to be? Congratulations to Corey. Congratulations to Don. Here we go. Dr. J. Dr. J is always leaving great comments as well. Congratulations to Don, Corey, and Dr. J. So, gentlemen, please send us an email over at support@outlier.com to confirm your email address, and we will send you the Big Money Bingo prize package straight over. So congratulations to you guys. There we go, Dr. J and Don. Absolutely, congratulations to all 3 of you. Make sure you email in to support@outlier.com. And listen, we all win today, right? every day that we get to play the best game in the market, we all get to win. Now, if you play it correctly, you can grow your generational wealth for the rest of time and change all of your future generations. Or you can blow up your account in 90 days. The choice is yours. But if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, there's 2 videos right here. You should definitely click on them. Have a fantastic day.